So here we are with Megan, the trainer, Megan's Movement Minutes. I don't know if you guys have heard of her, but she's kind of a big thing in lacrosse. So Megan, what do you think it is that we do here at Fitness Line Down that we really excel at that other people in the fitness industry fall short with?
I think in group settings we have the ability to either increase or decrease the intensity of somebody's movement without really adjusting the bag or the weight. But we can still make this workout just as challenging, if not more challenging for some people if they need it.
When we talk about progressing people, it's not just about weight. See, that's the gym, that's the traditional fitness as usual gym answer, right? That if something's easy, well, we're going to put on more weight. If something's a little bit too difficult, we're going to take some of that weight off. But what if we change a few more parameters? What if we change the holding position or the body position? Are you ready? We've got our group setting, all this stuff, all the exercises have been prescribed, people are ready to go, and we're doing a deadlift. A simple deadlift, but yet very effective, and we're using our ultimate sandbag. Megan's rocking it out, and she's got a 40-pound sandbag here, a 40-pound ultimate sandbag, and she's going up and down. And all of a sudden it's like, Megan, how's that for you? It's a little too easy, right? Like, it just seems kind of simple. What we can do now is we can take this and we can change the holding position. So we're going to take our ultimate sandbag and we're going to rack it up into our front-loaded position. Same weight now. We're going to do the same exact movement pattern. We're going to go into that hip hinge as she's holding that bag tight up against her body. We're moved now into a good morning. All of a sudden, that 40-pound ultimate sandbag has increased in the load perception. It feels heavier, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Now, what happens if we're doing something like this and people are doing good mornings and somebody's just doing it and it just does not look good? It's too squatty and maybe it hurts their low back a little bit. Well, guess what we're going to do? We're going to take that back down and we're going to have them do their deadlifts. So we don't take away the implement. We're not taking away their sandbag. We're just changing it up. So that's such a beautiful thing is in a station of one movement pattern, we might have 3 different exercises. What's also a great thing here is all of a sudden we got some people and they're doing what we call high pulls. So we're doing another hip hinge exercise. As we're coming up, we're popping, boom, right back. Pop it back up, pop. So they're doing really well. Same hip hinge, a little more explosion going on. And guess what? Corey, you know what? That's a little too easy. So now can we only just change the holding position, we can start changing body position. All of a sudden Megan's going to go into our sprinter stance. Totally changes everything. So now we can make this 40-pound ultimate sandbag feel a little bit more difficult. Because now we've got different things that we have to worry about. There's forces. She wants to be rocking to the one side, but she has to hold herself center. Perfect, right? Right. Coffee break. Megan, what is one really popular exercise that we find in the group training realm that everybody wants to do?
Squats.
Or maybe nobody wants to do, but we always put it in anyway. Squats. And somebody loves squats. Megan loves squats. So we introduced the goblet squats for people. Pretty level 1 exercise here. So we're racked on tight, and Megan's just giving us those nice squats. All of a sudden I walk by Megan. Megan, how are your squats? Pretty easy. So we have a 12-kilogram kettlebell here. What we're going to do now is we're going to drop that kettlebell down to make it a little bit more advanced for it. We're going to grab 2 6-kilogram kettlebells. So all of a sudden now we have the same amount of weight, but the displacement here, now that we have 2 individual weights, we got to be working hard on this. So she's racked and tight and we're squatting. All of a sudden we have now increased the intensity, not by necessarily changing the weight, but by changing the implements. We could then go into what we like to call an offset squat. How this is going to look now is we're going to use the same 6-kilogram kettlebell, but we're going to take it to an 8-kilogram as well. So we're changing the holding position. We don't want to have a too drastic of a difference between the kettlebells. So you don't want to have one really small one and one really huge one. We want to keep it relatively light. And don't worry, you do this right, you're going to feel how that other heavier kettlebell needs a little bit more attention because the body's going to want to start turning. So now all of a sudden we have to fight rotation. Excellent job. What else can we do? We could just go down to that 1 kettlebell. So maybe she's back to her 12-kilogram kettlebell. Everything's great. We're going to load it up to the one side now. So we got the same amount of weight, but guess what we're doing? We're just changing that holding position, one arm. We can go to sprinter stance. We can do so many things with those kettlebells. It's insane. Coffee break. Here's where I've fallen short so many times, and I still see people falling short, is lunging. You know, we pray that somebody's lunges are just going to magically improve by using so many words, right? Like, if I can coach it better by saying more things, they're going to get it. Unfortunately, that never really happens. So we got to have that solution. So let's say we got our group training session going on, everybody's rocking it, and we're lunging. So all of a sudden, they're all over the board. Like, it's just like, it looks like they're in pain, which they probably are, and it just doesn't look pretty. You're not going to video that and put that on social media, are you? I wouldn't. So how can we make that a little bit better? First thing is, if somebody's really struggling in the lunge position, I'm just going to drop them down in a half kneeling position. What is this? This is the bottom part of my lunge. This is where people miss the opportunities to really engage in the core to rise up. We're going to grab our ultimate sandbag, and we're going to do arc presses. So what I love about the arc press is the ability for the core to really embrace and feel that tension. So as she's rising up, she's pushing down. She's feeling what it means to be at the bottom of that lunge, again, where people miss the boat. So by pushing down hard in the ground, she's starting to learn actually how to lunge better. Now Megan, of course, has a spectacular lunge. So she's going to stand up. But let's say we are now having that person that has a body weight lunge. It's not that great, but it's not as horrible as we originally saw. We're going to take that bag in a front loaded position. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, you're just adding weight to somebody to make it harder. No, not necessarily. I'm actually putting this weight on as a feedback mechanism. So she's bracing through the bag. We're going to connect the upper body to the lower body, creating a more core integrated experience. So she steps back, she's going to plant that foot just like what we learned before, and then we'll alternate to the other side. And notice as she rises up, she's pulling the bag tight into her body. Job well done. Now how can we make that a little bit more different? Well, we can change the holding position once again. We can put that bag on top of a shoulder. Now this might seem a little easier because it takes a lot of endurance to hold the ultimate sandbag in that front loaded position. Here, because of that loading position up there, it's not as stressful, but now we have more planes of motion that we have to fight. So notice she drops that same side leg down, and all of a sudden we get that cross patterning working up. Now of course, if people are rocking that out, we always love our max lunges here at Fitness Lying Down thanks to our friends at DVRT. So holding tight on those handles, locked in grip, pull those handles apart as she down and up, back down. So now all of a sudden she's got to fight more things. So these are just a few of those little opportunities that we can do to increase the intensity or to decrease the intensity and make sure people's experience in the group fitness realm is successful, enjoyable, beneficial. I like beneficial. From us to you.
You're welcome.